is what I'm going to share with you now for the next 28 minutes. I would share with you how to connect with people. I just wrote a book. It came out about 3 weeks ago. It's entitled, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. It's very true, isn't it? Everybody talks. But haven't you seen people when they talked, nobody was home? Haven't there been times when you've been listening to somebody and just wanted to raise your hand and tell them it's okay, they can quit? You're all too young for this. Every one of you are too young, but when I was a kid, they had a program on TV called The Gong Show. And The Gong Show was just simply when you talked and nobody wanted to hear anymore, they just got a big mallet and they just gonged you. I mean, I've just said, dear God, we need a gong in every church. In fact, when I did the book, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect, I put it on my blog last September and released a chapter each week. I'd put a chapter on, release it, and then take it off, put the next chapter on. For the 10 weeks, over 100,000 people read the book with me on the blog, and I asked them to come back and talk to me. I said, as you read the book, tell me, you know, give me a good story, give me a better quote, help me improve the book. And they started improving the book literally by the hundreds and then the thousands, and we literally changed 7 things in each chapter. I mean, we rewrote the book, and it's when I discovered none of us is as smart as all of us. And some of my best thinking has been done by others. I told them I'd give them credit. I literally put their pictures on the cover of the book, put their names on the inside, the pictures on the inside, literally hundreds of people. Told them I'd give them credit. I didn't tell them I'd give them royalties. Jesus was the great connector. If anybody ought to know how to connect, it ought to be his children. Yet, to be honest with you, I find some of them not even close. Not even close. Let me define connecting. Connecting is the ability to relate to and identify with people in such a way that it increases your influence with them. The ability to identify with and relate to people in such a way that it increases your influence with them. When we do it right, our increased influences, what did Jesus say? He wanted us to be salt. He wanted us to be light. He wanted us to connect in such a way to fulfill the Great Commission that everywhere we went, we could draw people unto him. I want to give you 3 very simple connecting thoughts tonight. These thoughts are going to be applied to your spiritual life. These thoughts can be applied to your business life. These thoughts can be applied to your family life. Thought number 1 about connecting. Very simple. Connecting is all about others. That's the grand foundation and principle of connecting. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's all about others. I was in my 20s in Dayton, Ohio, and I didn't understand this. I was a pastor. And I thought connecting as a leader was getting everybody to buy into my vision, to get to buy into the things that I loved and the principles that I held true. And I was constantly working hard on getting people to buy into me and to buy into everything around. And I was constantly saying, come on the team, here, don't you want to join this? Here's where we're going. Don't you want to get on the train? When I was in my 20s in Dayton, Ohio, I heard a man say, if you will help people first get what they want, they will help you get everything that you want. It literally changed my life. It was a eureka moment for me because at that time I realized that I was approaching connecting the wrong way. I was trying to get people to come where I was and connect with me. And so many times I see leaders, basically leaders who are up on the mountain and they're down and they're looking at the people down there and they say, hey folks, come on up. Come on up, I'm up here. Come on, let's go. You've heard the expression, it's lonely at the top. A leader never said that. If you're at the top all alone, nobody's following you. you're at the top all alone, you're not a leader, you're a hiker. And in my early years, I was trying to get people to come to the top. I was trying to keep people to join the team. I was trying to get people to get on the train. I tried, come on. And I did not understand that I have to get off the top. I have to go find the people. I've got to go where they are. And when I find where they are, then, hey, guess what I can do? I can help them go to the top together. That's why leaders never cross the finish line first. People who cross the finish line first are running alone. You see, leaders never cross the finish line first because when they come across, they're bringing people with them. Connecting is all about others. Now, as I look back at my early ministry, I know why I didn't understand that. I was immature. I was immature, and immature people don't think of others first, do they, huh? They're immature because they think of themselves first. That's what makes them immature. I know you're saying, well, let them get a little older. They'll grow up and they'll mature. Not necessarily. Maturity doesn't always accompany age. Many times age comes alone. I shared with you we have 5 granddaughters. When we lived in Atlanta, our 2 oldest granddaughters at that time, Hannah and Maddie, were 5. At that time, Maddie and her family lived on the West Coast out in California, and we were in Atlanta, so the cousins didn't get to see each other a lot. When the cousins got together, they always stayed at our house. And every morning when Hannah and Maddie, these cousins, these 5-year-old cousins were together, they'd come down into the living room in the morning, and they call me Papa. That's my name. They call me Papa. They call Margaret Mimi. In fact, before the first grandchild was born, Margaret looked at me and said, what are the grandbabies going to call us? I said, I have no clue. I didn't even think about it. Well, she said, I've been thinking about them. I want them to call me Mimi. I said, I like that. But she said, I don't want them to call you Pee-Pee. I said, I'll buy that too. So they call me Papa. When they come down every morning, they had a list for me because, you see, Hannah and Maddie thought it was God created Papa to serve them. Oh, yeah, they're 5. And they'd come down and they'd say, Papa, we want to do this. And they would give me the list. And, you know, I'd just hang with them and whatever they said. That's what because I think that's my responsibility to spoil the grandchildren. After all, that's what grandparents are for. And so we'd have our list and we'd go through our day. I promise you on that list every day, because we lived on a golf course, is they wanted to get in the golf cart and they wanted to ride around the golf course. They loved to do that. We'd go to the pond, see the ducks, you know the whole deal. Now they had Hannah's younger brother at the time. John was 2. Sometimes they let John go with me, sometimes they didn't. That was Hannah and Maddie's total decision. John was named after me. He gets the inheritance. Anyway. Every afternoon about 2, Hannah and Maddie, sometimes John would get in the golf cart. We'd go down to the end of the driveway. Before we got to the end of the driveway, it happened every time. Trust me, every time. Before we got to the end of the driveway, Hannah and Maddie say, Papa, we're hungry. We need a snack. Which would mean the first place we'd go at the snack shop between the 9th and 10th hole. We'd go there. We all sat down. We ordered the very same thing. Hot dog with ketchup, potato chips, candy bar, ice cream, Diet Coke. I know what you're thinking. I know exactly. You're saying, that's not a very healthy diet. I know that. I don't care. I'm a grandparent. Trust me, I fed my kids healthy stuff. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. There was only one rule, and that is they couldn't tell. They couldn't tell the parents because parents are paranoid about some of those things. So that was our secret. Every eating during dinner time, the kids weren't hungry. The parents could never figure it out. Hannah and Maddie would look at me, they'd wink, give me a thumbs up. Now they're 5 years old. Every day they had an agenda for me. It was all about them. It was not one time did Hannah and Maddie come down and say, Papa, we've been thinking. You've done so much for us. What could we do for you? You see, it doesn't enter a 5-year-old mind that they should do something for someone else. It's okay when you're 5. It's sad when you're 35 and 45 and 55 and you haven't figured out it's not about you. The first very simple principle of connecting is it's all about others. Leaders understand that the day they take up the mantle of the leadership, they give up the right to think of themselves first. Leaders understand that the day that they become leaders, no longer do they live for themselves. If Jesus were here and he was talking about leadership tonight, he would tell you and me that leadership is servanthood. That's what it is. It's not about titles, it's about towels. And only the secure can stoop.